right. David, can you hear us? I don't know, dude. I don't think I have it muted. Check. Yeah.
Check.
There you are. Hey.
Okay, so it wasn't.
How did that work? What the hell happened there? Thank you for sticking with us, David.
No problem. You guys are not talking to each other on Skype. I'm the only one on Skype. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, we're in studio.
Yeah, so you just had the wrong output selected.
That's right.
I'm glad that we fixed it. Please, you are a preeminent flat earther. Can you please describe yourself for the audience? I always butcher it. I can't sell anything, as Milo told me.
I'm a guy that has questioned what we've been told, and that's how you become a flat earther. Flat Earth is crazy. When people suggested it to me, I banned them from our social media for being so stupid. Yeah. But then I was forced to look, and I went in with a biased mind to disprove flat Earth and prove the globe. Okay. Because there's a million reasons, and that the Earth is a globe, and none of them hold up when you look at them. Okay. None.
Walk me through that. We had a guy. There was a fan of the show who called in and said that he also thought the Earth was flat. I don't think I convinced him that it was round either, Sean.
No, I don't think you would.
No, I personally, I believe in the flat Holocaust theory. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one. Okay, go ahead. Walk us through your process.
That's a dangerous conspiracy.
So let me keep your interest. You guys know what Bitcoin is, right?
Mm-hmm. Do we?
I'm offering a free Bitcoin for anybody that takes my Flat Earth app challenge and can supply just one proof of the globe. And I give you a free Bitcoin.
Oh,
so
cool.
We'll talk about this later. So
let me explain a free Bitcoin. That's like $40,000.
It's going to be more than that very soon. So you watch.
Well, who decides whether it's proof or not?
Yeah, who decides whether it's proof?
Well, I'll just show you that it's not proof, and therefore you'll see. There'll be no argument.
How about somebody's not getting a Bitcoin?
How about this, Sean? There we go. Yeah. Does that prove? I just dropped a pen proving that gravity exists. Is that proof?
No, you prove that buoyancy and density exist, and that there's something that establishes a down. And I can explain how that works with electromagnetism, but you can't explain it with gravity because gravity is just a theory.
Okay, walk us through how you disproved the globe when you went in.
Right?
All right. The way I disproved the globe is I got rid of the notion that the Earth is a pancake floating in space. Okay. I got rid of the notion that the gravity is because the Earth is rising at 9.8 meters per second, like the Flat Earth Society will tell you. I got rid of the notion. I got rid of the ridiculous belief that we live on a rock ball spinning in a vacuum with water and air on the outside of that ball, which breaks every law of thermodynamics. Then I said, all right, what is the flat Earth? And the flat Earth is this. Just think of what is a pond or a puddle is the low spot in the land where the water accumulates, and the edge of the puddle is the hot land that's higher than the water. Okay. Well, expand that to a lake. A lake is just a big puddle, and the edge of the lake isn't the edge of a pancake. It's the edge of the lake where the water is higher than the land. Okay. And put some islands in that lake, put a magnetic pole in the middle of that lake, and now you have a lake that you can circumnavigate east and west because there's circles around the center north point. Okay. And if you go away from the center in any direction away from the center, whether you're going at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, away from the center.
4:30.
That's
south. 1 o'clock, and when you get to the edge of
3 o'clock rock. Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you get to the edge of the lake, you're not at the edge of the pancake. You're at the edge of the lake, and there's land. And how far does that land go? Well, that land is called Antarctica. It's off limits to us. And Antarctica appears to be bigger than all of the oceans and all of the continents combined.
Wait. What do you mean Antarctica is bigger? First of all, what do you mean off limits? I thought there's lots of people. Where's Santa then? Not Antarctica. Is that what?
Santa's at the North Pole. He's at the North Pole.
Oh, I see.
The Arctic.
Okay. Yeah. So Antarctica is off limits to people, but there's people there. There's like a science. Wait, I know somebody who's been to that lab. Rocket Man.
Lots of people. There's lots of people that go there. Lots of people.
Yeah. What about them?
So all of
but they never come back.
The bases in Antarctica are right near the shoreline of the lake, of the world lake. Okay. And you can go there for a vacation for 3 or 4 days. It'll cost you somewhere between $10,000 and $30,000. And there's 15 different companies that you can book with, but they're all run by the same guy. So that's interesting. It's really one company.
Okay.
And when you go there, they'll show you some penguins at the shoreline, and they'll bring you a couple miles outwards south. Yeah. And they'll show you a ceremonial pole, and they'll tell you it's the South Pole, but you can't confirm it because GPS doesn't work, and neither do compasses.
They don't? GPS doesn't work?
That's all you get to see. Nobody since 1957, the Antarctic Treaty was formed, is allowed to independently explore Antarctica. No person, no corporation, and they can't even question the treaty until the year 2041.
What about the science lab? Like, what about the March of the Penguins? Wasn't that in the South Pole? Wasn't that in Antarctica?
the March of the Penguins. There are penguins in Antarctica, but they don't go to the center and huddle in a big thing like they show us. That's just
was that on a soundstage?
Yeah, no, that was done in Antarctica, but it's near the shoreline. But and Antarctica is cold. But the main purpose of that movie was, one, to make you love penguins and think that we need to protect them.
Yeah,
but the main reason was to make you never want to go to Antarctica because it's too freaking cold.
Okay. So otherwise, people would want to go to Antarctica and it would blow. So are you saying that Antarctica is like an ice wall? I've heard that Antarctica is like this ice wall that's all around the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not. Well, so the ice wall, it makes you think of Game of Thrones, and then Game of Thrones is controlling your mind with, the little guy saying he wants to piss off the edge of the Earth, off the wall.
Okay.
It's not the edge of the Earth. Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. It is the shoreline that surrounds the world oceans. It's way bigger than all of the rest of the known Earth combined. It's literally the shoreline. If you go to Antarctica, the land is 100 feet over your head, or the top of the ice. It's 100 or 200 feet over your head. It's the highest land on Earth. We live in the Antarctic basin. Large bodies of water at rest lay flat. So my question to you, and it's measurably, testably, provably flat. And so my question to you is, how many stretches of flat ocean does it take to make a sphere?
3.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is 3. Very good. Very good.
Wait, are you messing around? Or is that because he's doing
around?
Okay,
I don't care how many flat lines you put in a row, they don't make a sphere.
Oh, well, what's past the ice then? Like, what's the flat Earth sitting in?
Right.
A flat space.
So the way I describe it, again, anything that's over our heads that we can't reach, and anything beyond the shoreline of Antarctica is speculation. But I believe that there is a dome surrounding our Earth, holding us. Separating the waters from above from the waters below.
Okay.
And where did the dome come from?
God.
So this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Before I discovered that the Earth was not a spinning ball, I was a nihilistic atheist. Best way to describe me. I'm here for myself. This is it. We're random accidents that evolved into humans, and that was it.
Yeah,
I live on a spinning speck flying through an infinite universe, and there's nothing I can do about it. An asteroid could take us out at any time, and we're going to run out of dinosaur juice to run our cars. So therefore, you live a little selfishly. I wasn't that selfish, but then when I did the research and I found out, wow, that's not where we live. We live in the center of creation, and this place is intelligently designed. Therefore, you have to not assume, you have to know without any doubt that there is a creator. Now, who's the creator? Where did the creator come from? Why? Yeah. Those are all questions that we could ask forever.
So God made the flat Earth?
You don't have the answers to that.
No, I don't. But the place is intelligently designed, and that's why they're doing the PSYOP, because they don't want us in a situation where we can't deny the existence of a creator. Because if everybody woke up tomorrow, they would take back their power. They would realize that nobody has dominion over you. They'd stop following these crazy rules that have been cast upon us, especially in the last year and the last century. But all of that is to depower us, to keep us in fear, and to separate us. They divided us up by countries, and they divide the countries up by states, and they divide that up by political parties and sports teams and sexes and genders. Now they're dividing the genders, and now they're dividing us. They're dividing families. You can't have your kids come visit you or whatever. You can't go see grandma, and you can't hug anybody. You can't look at anyone's face. They're literally dehumanizing us.
What about the moon? Is that round?
Sure looks round, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You guys are in a studio. You have any lights in the ceiling?
Yeah. We got a couple lights.
So look at those lights. Carefully look at those lights and tell me what shape the floor is.
What shape the floor is? What do you mean? Like the lights on the floor? Well, I think there's too many lights, but they're probably like an oval.
What I'm saying is, I don't care what shape the moon is. It has nothing to do with the shape of the floor of our Earth.
Okay.
Now, the moon looks like a sphere, but it doesn't act like a sphere. It doesn't light up like a sphere being lit by a single source light, the sun, because when it's a full moon, it's equally lit edge to edge. When you're lighting a sphere, there's shading. You have a hot spot in the middle, and then it would fade out towards the edges. But that's not what we see when we look at it, especially through a super zoom camera. It is emitting its own light. And the problem is when we go into a new moon, the moon completely disappears for almost 2 full days, and nobody has been able to see it.
What's happening during those 2 days? Are they like recharging the moon?
Yeah, well, that's not a bad, if you understood what the moon was, that's really a smart question. But
let's assume that
the moon and the sun that we see don't act like physical objects.
Yeah.
They act more like reflections within the Earth system.
So is that part of the dome then? And it's being lit?
Yeah, is it a thing? The moon?
Yeah, what is the moon?
That's a great question, and nobody knows. But the moon affects, women's reproductive cycles. The moon,
it certainly does.
People, it does a lot of crazy stuff, right? So, what is the moon? You know that moonlight, when you magnify it, gets colder, unlike sunlight that gets hotter.
No, that's not. Yeah. When you magnify moonlight, it doesn't get colder. What do you mean? No, it doesn't. It's light. No, I haven't done it. That's not how light works. Even a light from an incandescent bulb, if you focus it gets hotter.
If you put meat out under a full moon, under moonlight, it'll start decaying much faster than under sunlight, which will purify and sterilize it. The moonlight makes it rancid and decay.
Wait, where is that? What do you mean the moonlight makes meat decay?
Yeah, look it up. I'm telling you, you can do these experiments yourself. This is stuff that we're never taught in school. Were you taught that Antarctica is the highest land on Earth?
No, I was not taught this.
Mountains in Antarctica higher than Everest?
No. Is there anywhere where any of this is valid? I know that moonlight thing is not true. I know that focusing moonlight does not make it colder.
How do you know that?
Because all light works the same. It's all the same. It's all the same photons over the entire universe. If you focus them, they get hotter.
So do you know that the sun isn't even hot?
Okay, how hot is the sun?
Did you know that the capital of Portugal is Lisbon?
Yeah.
How hot is the sun?
The sun is more like a focus point of energy. It's electric in nature, and it's causing daylight by fluorescing the gases in the sky and the dome. The sky is mostly nitrogen. Nitrogen fluoresces blue. And when the sun moves near it, just like a Tesla coil moving near a fluorescent bulb, it'll turn on. And that's how we have daylight and sunlight. Sunlight's direct from the sun. But then...
Yeah, but how do you know any of this? Like, how do you know all of that fluorescing stuff?
We can do experiments and show you we can make the same lights in the sky with electricity that the sun does. And then if you go to the top of Everest, why is it so cold up there? You're closer to the sun, you're higher up. And the answer is because the sun only heats up the gases it's electric. So the electricity makes the gases move faster, and therefore they're hotter, and the air is thinner up there. The hottest points on Earth are like in Death Valley, which are the lowest points on Earth with the most amount of dense gas.
Well, the equator. It's pretty hot.
You know what's funny? I was in the solar power business, and solar power is very interesting because all the scientists have no idea how the fuck it works. Yeah. They just know that they make up the story about, the photon hits a boron molecule and the boron molecule jumps out and it creates a current. This is how it works.
Yeah.
The solar panels collect the electricity that's coming straight from the sun and put it into currents.
What do you mean? How did they even invent solar panels if they don't understand how photons work?
It was an accident.
I'll tell you how, because I believe it came from previous knowledge from advanced civilizations that were here in the 1800s.
Mm-hmm. In the 1800s.
1800s, not like
if you
Egyptians?
Look into Nikola Tesla, he had all of that information. So this is, they don't understand how solar panels work. If you put two house plants, one in front of a fire, the sun, and one in front of a fluorescent light, one of them is going to shrivel up and the other one's going to grow because one of them's collecting the electricity from that light.
Well, there's like nutrients in the sunlight, right? Vitamin D.
There's energy. The sun. The only forces in this world are electric and magnetic, which are brother and sister.
What about gravity? What about gravity? What about gravity?
So gravity is a theory. Neil deGrasse Tyson himself says he doesn't know what it is, and every experiment done to prove mass attracts mass has failed.
No. They're one of the first gravity experiments. Oh God, I forget who it was. They hung two gigantic iron balls in a barn.
Experiment, and it was the Cavendish experiment was so flawed that even a globe scientist laughs at it.
Wait a minute. So you're saying if I do that experiment, two gigantic iron balls, and hang them in a bar, I could use my own balls and show that they had attraction, that I would get a Bitcoin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, but
what about the Coriolis effect? What about the snipers using the Coriolis effect when they're shooting? The rotation of the Earth, they have to, if they're shooting like a mile, they have to adjust how they shoot.
One thing at a time. Okay. One question at a time.
Okay.
So gravity is a theory, and as a matter of fact, they say that to make up dark matter and dark energy, because it makes up 96% of gravity, and the reason is it has to exist or gravity couldn't be real. Therefore, it has to exist. It's never been seen. It's never been measured, but it has to be there. And their gravity model still doesn't work. What does work, though, is that the Earth is measurably, testably, scientifically, provably electric. It has a negative charge to it. The entire Earth does have a negative charge to it. That negative charge establishes a weak attraction. It'll track things to it. If you go into a room with an ionizer, it'll turn all of the dust in the air positively charged, and it'll all fall to the ground because it increases its attraction to the Earth, and then you can vacuum it up, or at least your wife can. And then
you got me with that. You got me with that one.
I figured it was coming. And then so that establishes down, and then buoyancy and density sort everything else out. If I had a basketball and dropped it through the air over a swimming pool, it would fall through the air because it's denser than the air, and it would sit on top of the water because it's less dense than the water. And that's exactly how it works. And it's testable, provable. You ever see those
so density is gravity.
Triangles?
So there's no gravity, you're saying? There's no force of gravity. It's
there's
just
electromagnetism, buoyancy, and density. Okay. You ever see those triangles made out of tinfoil that they electrify and they float up in the air? They're not turning off the gravity.
That as a hat?
They're just changing the negative charge to it. We've done experiments where we take a metal plate and we charge it with a Van de Graaff generator, and it pulls things up and away from the Earth electromagnetically, not gravitationally.
What about that? You remember that? Did you see the Behind the Curve movie, the Flat Earth movie?
Yeah, it's a deception. It was edited horribly, and the experiment at the end with Jaron and the laser, everybody there said that it didn't prove anything, when in fact it did kind of, one of the results was, how's that possible? The Earth is curved. But they edited it, and they hid 2 seconds later after they cut, we brought the light down again, and we could see it, right? The reason we couldn't see it the first time is because there was trees in the way that we didn't even know were there, right?
I don't know. Right? I saw it. I mean,
well, you saw a movie about a fake love story with just fake information in it, and then they were supposed to give us all of the filming. We allowed them to film it because it's really a pain in the ass to do those experiments, but they said they would film it for us.
Yeah.
And then they're great. And they agreed to give us all the footage. And then after the movie came out, they're like, oh, no, we can't give you the footage.
Yeah, they're never going to do that. The producers just lie. They always lie. They did that to me and Dr. Phil, too.
They sold out is what they did. It's a total deceptive hit to make you laugh at Flat Earth, when in fact, here's the best proof that you guys have that a Flat Earther proved the curve. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
it's the dumbest thing ever.
Okay, wait a minute. How come you guys don't take a weather balloon and put a GoPro on it and just send it up into space so you can see that the Earth is flat?
Right, so that you're assuming that we haven't done that, and you're also assuming that a GoPro is the camera that you would use. A GoPro has a fisheye lens, and that's the problem. If you look at Felix Baumgarten, he did 2 jumps before the Red Bull space jump. He did 2 jumps, practice jumps, and before the one that they aired, and they weren't using GoPros, and the horizon was flat and at eye level. So the one that they did on television, they used a GoPro, and it showed this big curved Earth. Right. Well, if you look at it, it's showing over a third of the Earth, and it's all New Mexico. Everything it's showing is New Mexico.
So
and the other problem with the Red Bull jump
was that big.
It's a big thing.
If the Earth is spinning eastward at 1,000 miles per hour, like they tell us, he should have landed 3,000 miles out into the ocean in the west, but he landed east of where he took off. So somehow he outrun the spin of the Earth while floating in space.
He's very fast.
He's a fast guy. Yeah.
Can you briefly talk about kind of your background? I'm not sure how old you are, but kind of
what happened?
Did you go to school? Did you?
I went to college. I got a business degree. I took 4 years of astronomy, which is pseudoscience, and basically the more educated you are in astronomy, the dumber you are, because it's all indoctrination. And the people that become the astronomers and the teachers are the ones that can memorize and regurgitate the Rockefeller-funded indoctrination material the best. So again, saying that what's your education? Some of the smartest people in this world all dropped out of college. I didn't drop out of college.
Some real idiots dropped out of college too.
Yeah. I'm curious. And then how long has this you're kind of
passion of yours.
Exactly. When did you first start having doubts and then start doing your experiments and researching? I want to know how long this has kind of been going on and what the progression has been like.
When I first learned about it, I mean, I banned people from my social media.
Was this 10 years ago? 5 years ago?
6 or 7 years ago, somewhere around there. I lost track.
Yeah.
And so I started the Flat Earth podcast. And then while I was explaining, before I was on many radio shows, I would just be explaining to small groups of people, even just one-on-one. And I was like, I wish I had a little model of it. So I created an app, and I just had it on test flight on my iPhone, and I would show it to people, and I'd be like, oh, that's how it works. I'm like, hey, this is pretty good. And everyone said, hey, where can I get that app? So I actually published it. And for the last 2.5 years, I've been making it better and better. I put tens of thousands of dollars into it now, and I sell it. And the reason is because Google is hiding the information. If you go on YouTube and say flat earth videos, you're going to get, there's hundreds of videos going up every day of garbage, of shills and stupid stuff. They're just literally crapping in the punch bowl so much that it's a sewer, and you can't find any of the real information. But the app, every day, it shows you how seasons work, how time zones work, how everything works. And on the app, there's a featured video every day. And what I say is take the Bitcoin Flat Earth app challenge. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks. There's short ones during the week, longer ones on the weekends. And after that 2 weeks, if you think you have one proof of the globe, make sure you hit the question mark first. So you go to the frequently asked question page. There's the top 21 questions. Your question will probably be in there. You click that, and up comes a playlist of videos that Google will hide from you that they don't want you to see. And then when you see those, you realize that your question was childish and that you don't have any proof of the globe.
Okay, wait. I have a question. I have a rhetorical or experiment question for you. What if I went to Antarctica and I got a weather balloon and put put a thing in the weather balloon and set it up, and then timed how long it took the weather balloon to circumnavigate the globe at the South Pole, because it would be way less than at the equator. Right? Does that experiment make sense? Work.
I mean, why don't you just do that in the north? You have a better chance of doing that in the north, but you won't be able to. One, you're not allowed to. Two,
what if I did though? What if I did?
Well, what if I made you 3 feet taller?
No, but what if I went down there? What if I went down to the South Pole, launched a weather balloon, and it came back in like an hour and a half? Would that prove it? Would I win your Bitcoin?
I'll give you 5 Bitcoins. How's that?
If I do that?
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
Because once you go there, you're not going to be able to go. So it's a straw man argument. It's the dumbest. It's pointless.
It's an experiment. It's an experiment. If I can go to the South Pole, launch a weather balloon, and then it only takes. What if I can?
All right,
I'm a pretty resourceful guy.
That's true. I'm going to save you a lot of time. Get the app, hit the "What About Antarctica" button, and then you'll understand how you can't.
Okay. I'm out of questions. Does Chad have any questions? They're asking, what about people who sail around the world?
Well, so east and west are circles. So if imagine a North Pole at the center of the world lake. You sit down, you have your compass, your needle points towards the center. So now look at that compass, and you want to head east. You're going to leave New York. You're heading east. Well, you're just going to stare at your compass, and you're going to have to keep correcting to the left because you need that needle to point towards the north. So you're going to circle all the way around the lake, and you're going to come right back to California and to New York, and you are dead reckoning east the entire way. That does not prove the Earth is flat because it works the same on a globe, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
West is the same. We have to keep correcting to the north. Now, if the Earth was a globe in the southern hemisphere, you'd have to correct to the south. But ships captains, Navy ship captains have all reported that they always have to correct to the north. Okay. That proves that the Earth is flat right there.
Cantillions wants me to ask you about Time Cube. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Are there any conspiracies you don't believe in? Like 5G, nanobots, Morgellons disease? Are you for or against those?
I don't believe in Time Cube, whatever the hell that is.
I don't know what it is either. It's probably some kind of inside homosexual reference that Cantillions is
probably. There's probably, I'm sure there's stuff that I don't believe, but
Crippled Jesus asks if you want to use his handicap parking plate because he says you need it more than he does. Crippled Jesus.
What you'll notice is the people that are going to challenge it never have a single proof. They only have insults and
I do. I know. I love it for that reason because here's why I love flat Earth theory, because people believe it and they can't prove why they believe it, so they get angry immediately.
That's an incorrect statement right there. We can see too far. We can measurably see too far. We know what the globe math is for curvature, and we can see things that should be a mile below the curvature. Submarines can see other submarines at 100 miles away when there should be 6,000 feet of Earth in between them, but somehow their sonar knows to go over that hump and then bounce back on the other submarine. There's Navy captains that with pinpoint pencil-thin lasers can light up other ships 100 miles away. 6,600 feet of a hump of water should be in between them, but somehow they can see those ships.
They want to know also how this works. How do women react to this? How do women react to flat Earth?
There's tons of women in flat Earth. Go check out Karen B's channel.
Tons of women in flat Earth, you say?
Yeah.
All right.
It's an unmined resource.
So just the comments that you're going to get in the chat and on the comments, the ones that make fun of flat Earth have no proof of the globe.
They're immature.
They're immature. They're idiots.
Well, no,
they don't know either way.
But they just don't. They were kind of like I was. I made fun of it too.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was forced to look. I actually just ignored it because I was like, it's the dumbest thing ever. Why would I even bother?
Yeah.
But if you want to understand it, you have to try to debunk it. Yeah. And you have to try to debunk it not by Googling it, because Google is just going to tire your brain out with nonsense.
This guy says he has a PhD. He wants to talk to you. I don't know if you'll be able to hear him, though, because you're on Skype. Let me see if it will work. Hey, Exodus, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Expedition, I mean. Can you hear him, David?
No, but you can relay his message if you want.
Nah, it's not as fun. Fucking Skype always does that to us. All right, David, does anything make you rage? By the way, does any of this flat Earth stuff explain why women are so annoying?
Yeah, it actually does. But
Really?
you have to get the app to figure that out.
Oh, okay.
There's a thing. You just click the "Why are women so annoying" button in the app.
Yeah.
And it's got a whole playlist of videos in there.
Oh, I see.
Does anything make you rage that's not globe related?
Oh, what do you mean make me rage?
Like,
Get me upset?
Does anything
sure.
make you upset?
I don't get upset about anything. You
Really?
kidding me?
Okay.
Life is amazing. I mean, we are in this amazing time right now with all of this stuff going on, and it's amazing to be awake. And the people that are awake along this journey are amazing people. We just had a conference in South Carolina in October. Was it in October? Yeah, back in October. That was it was so many awake, aware people. You're not talking about sports or weather or politics. It was just about reality, and it's like growing faster than you can believe. There's 11 million flat earthers in Brazil. Okay, they did a survey and they came up with 11 million people don't believe we live on a globe.
I saw there's Brazil. Like 7 or 8% of people who aren't sure that we're on a globe.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a start, and it's increasing exponentially.
Yeah.
There's so many flat Earth. They're trying to squash it. Now, Obama mentioned flat Earth a half a dozen times in his speeches. He mentioned the Flat Earth Society. Why is he doing that? He's trying to drive people to the disinformation.
All right, David. Thank you for calling in. Good luck. I see people downloading your app right now. But thank you very much for calling in. Good luck with your quest to defeat NASA.
Well, NASA, that's the easiest one to defeat. Just hit the NASA button on the app, and then you'll see all the deception. And every single one of them is by itself is enough to know that we didn't go to the moon.
Well, what about the moon rocks? Are they just fake?
Well, go look it up. Say moon. Go Google moon rock. Turns out to be petrified wood. There's a moon rock that we sold to another country, and they tested it for insurance reasons, and it's petrified wood.
Yeah, I think that guy just made up the story of getting a moon rock, though. Like, I think that was a politician who said, the U.S. gave me this moon rock. How cool am I? Vote for me.
Why are they looking for moon rocks in Antarctica? Right?
The
NASA says that they could find moon rocks in Antarctica.
It's just petrified penguin shit, it turns out.
All right, David. I gotta thank you for calling in. Goodbye.
See you. Bye.
See ya.
What do you think, Sean?
That was fucking amazing, and I want more.
I know. Got an answer for everything.
Well, yeah.
Fucking answer for everything.
I mean, it's
Cavendish experiment was bullshit.
Sure.
Oh, I could do that weather balloon though.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's what Rockman did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call in some favors.
I was just gonna say you gotta call Rocket Man. Yeah.
That's why they experiment down there.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper than going into space. You throw up a weather balloon 50,000 feet, space-like.
Right.
Okay, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can test this.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure.
But then they always find a way to weasel out. It's like an insurance company.
No, because he's the indicator of what is legit or not. So there's that.
What if I put a camera on it and send it around?
Dude, you better not. No GoPro. No GoPro.
What do I have to do?
Just use it. It's big camera is just trying to prove the round Earth conspiracy.
What if I take him, that guy, David, put him in a lawn chair, put some weather balloons on it, send him up, send him around Antarctica?
No, somehow you get above, it warps your eyes, to a
Magenfeeb. I do like it though, because it makes people so angry that they have no reason why they think the Earth is round.